Hello, my people. How you doing? Hope you're doing great. So you're welcome back to my channel. This week has been busy. It has been busy with the application period ongoing. Okay, and I understand that some of you are facing some challenges, especially when it comes to paying the application fee, when it comes to submitting the application form, when it comes to English language requirements, and also when it comes to applying without the international English language test or the TOEFL. Now, in this video, this is a very important video because there are some things that I want to explain in simple terms that most of you will understand. And also, there are some worries about applying without the IELTS or TOEFL, like that's without international English language test. I've had questions like, can I apply without the international English language test? The answer is yes and no, and I will talk about all this in this video. So why don't you give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if this is your first time here. My name is Tabi Emilia, and I talk about schooling in Finland, I talk about immigration, and I keep it real here on my channel with the different challenges that are ongoing in Finland. Now, talking about challenges, I met this student from Ghana, and she is studying in Vasa, and I asked her, where are you coming from? The first thing she said is, I'm from Vasa, where there is no job, okay? And I was like, are you kidding me? She said, yeah. And I didn't ask, are you kidding me? Because she said there's no job. I said, are you kidding me? Because like she just said it. So I'm a Christian. They say, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, which means this is something that has been troubling her. And then she started telling me that she's feeling really bad about herself because she didn't do enough finding. I'm like, what? You didn't do enough findings? And she said, yes. I said, I'm a YouTuber. I talk about Finland and I talk about these challenges. I keep it real. She's like, yeah, that was a mistake she made because she actually didn't do some findings. There's no way she would have moved to Vasa to study this program or to Finland as a whole. I told her, you're here already. You can just try to find out on how to move forward. That's the goal. All right. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because there are so many international students that she was even genuine, she didn't know. Some, you are still here and I'm talking, you are listening to me, but you still go ahead and apply for a program where you'll be paying 12,000 euros per year, knowing fully well that it's not easy for you to work that money and pay your fees for the following year. So please, when I talk about these things, I don't talk about them because I want to talk. I talk about them because I am seeing students here. All right. I work in a place where most students come and take exams and all whatnot. I work there part-time. So I interact. When I was talking to this lady, she had no clue I was a YouTuber. When I said I'm a YouTuber and I talk about studying in Finland and I also talk about the challenges, especially when it comes to my people from Africa. She was like, that's so nice. I really wish, I would have, done some findings about all these challenges. So the information that I give you about the challenges is even more important than you applying for a university. And I'm talking about this, why the application is ongoing, because it is not too late for you to make that decision. Check the fees. You can study in anywhere in Finland as long as the fees is moderate, so that you don't have to be under duress to look for your fees, to look for a high-paying job. If you can afford your fees, your accommodation, and day-to-day life, it's okay. But if you need to pay 12,000 euros fees, that's a lot. There's no way you can work as a student and save that amount of money within a short period of time. So plan well, think twice before you move. Now back to our topic. How do you apply to a university here in Finland without writing the international English language test? The first way you can apply and be exempted from this requirement is by you applying for a master's program. Yes. When you apply for a master's program, in some universities, not all. Last year, I think we had just two, but this year, like there are other universities that are doing this exemption thing for more countries, like Cameroon, like Ghana, like Nigeria, like Kenya, like Uganda, so many. So make sure that you are applying for a program in a university that has this in place. Okay. So if you're applying for a master's program and you've studied entirely in English during your bachelor's degree, then you're eligible to apply without the International English Language Test. How do you go about it? Where in the application form, okay, so I'm talking about the application form. I've done, there's a video on how to fill the application form with me. If this is your first time here, go back. It's here on my channel and you can see what I'm talking about. Where they ask for language requirement, there are different options. You have the IELTS option, you have you having a bachelor or master's degree or doctorate degree in Finland. You have the option of having a master's, bachelor or doctorate degree outside Finland. You have the option of you using your previous degree to prove your English. So when you click on that, they are going to ask you to submit documents like your transcript of records and your certificate. And if it is not written on your transcript of records that this program was conducted entirely in English, what you can also do is go back to your university and ask them to just write a one-page document stating that you studied here, you studied this program entirely in English. That's all you need. I'll take it again. So if you've had a bachelor's degree in your home country in English, all you need to do is submit your transcript of records and your certificate. If it is written there on your certificate or transcript of records that this program was done entirely in English, then you don't need any additional document to prove your English skills. That is okay. But if it is not written on your transcript of records or your certificate that this particular program was done entirely in English, you can go ahead and ask your university to give you a written document stamped stating that this particular program that you've done was entirely in English, and you add it and submit as attachment to your application. That way, you are good to go. You've been exempted from taking the International English Language Test. So that's one way you can apply, move to Finland as a student without necessarily taking the IELTS or TOEFL test. The other way you can do this is if you are applying for a bachelor's degree and you are ready to do the SAT test, or you've done the SAT test and the SAT test is still it's not expired, then you can use it to apply for a bachelor's degree. The other thing with the SAT test is that if you're applying for a bachelor's degree in schools like I know Hagahelia University of Applied Science, you don't even have to take the entrance exam if you have the SAT test, SAT. Okay, so if you don't have the SAT test, or if during your secondary school, upper secondary school, if you didn't write the IB, that's International Baccalaureate, then you need the IELTS. So if you are from an international school and you took this IB exam, then you don't have to prove your English language qualification or requirement. Okay, so these are the different ways through which you can bypass the IELTS. So if you're already in Finland and you've studied in Finland, maybe bachelor or master's, you don't also need to write the IELTS exam. both when you're applying for bachelor or master's. So if you have studied in Finland, but if you're coming from outside the EU, outside Finland, outside these other countries like Australia, Canada, UK, then you will need the International English Language Test if you're applying for a bachelor program. So what I'm trying to say is, for those of you applying for a master's, you stand a chance applying for a program without the IELTS, but with bachelor's it's so tight. Now, I will keep talking about this. I've talked about this on my channel, that if you're applying for a master, if you've already had a bachelor's degree, I will advise you to go for a master's degree for different reasons. And one reason that is top is that you minimize your finance. Trust me. Fees for master's program are really affordable. You have university offering up to 80% scholarship. So you have a master's degree program that you have to pay just 3,500 euros, 4,000 euros. But when it comes to bachelor's degree, the least sometimes is 5,000, 4,000. Same with master's program. So I think if you already have a bachelor's degree that qualifies you for a master's program, I'll advise you to apply for a master's program. Most times we're all scared. We think master's is for like, hey, no. As long as you have a bachelor's degree that qualifies you for a master's program, and you have a very beautiful motivation letter, or you know about like topics, or the topic that you use for your bachelor's thesis or project, as we call it in Cameroon, you can go ahead and apply for a master's program. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about based on this application period is the fees, the application fee. When you submit your application, a link will be sent to you within 7 days after submitting your application, in order for you to use that link to pay your application fee. If you don't pay your application fee within this time range or time frame, there's no way they will proceed with the admission process. So you have to pay. Some of you have been talking about, finding it difficult to pay through your banks in your countries. What our advice is for you to contact the admissions office as soon as possible. Holidays, it's over. People are back to work. Admissions office are up and working. Please get back to them if they can help you. All right. I will also try on my part. I've been trying, because I've not submitted any application, so I can't get hold of the link, but I'm trying. Until I submit one, I think I'll be able to figure out how this thing works, because some of you are already complaining, but it's the same thing even when it comes to paying of fees. People always encounter these problems with their banks. Okay, so please, you can go to your bank, and also you can as well contact your university. One more thing that you can do is, if you have someone abroad. When I talk about someone, I'm not talking about coming to me or any agent to say, can I send the money for you to pay for me, please. Soon you start hearing stories. If you have someone that you trust abroad, if you have someone that, like your relative or a friend abroad, you can send them the money, and they will help you pay with their bank card or any means. I think, yeah, it's easier to pay. Okay, so that's what you can do. And don't go telling people, please, can you help me pay, and then you are not sending them the money. No one wants to do that. So if you have a friend, you can tell them that, please, I want to send this money to you, can you help me pay? All right, so that's also one thing you can do. Okay, but I also advise you to reach out to the admissions office and let them know about it, that you're finding it difficult to pay this application fee and time is running out. All right, the next thing I want to talk about that has come up is this idea of HND. So in Cameroon, HND is Higher National Diploma. So it's a diploma, it's not a degree. And so many people are not aware of this. So if you have, let's say, a business qualification or nursing qualification from a polytechnic, which is equivalent to a University of Applied Science, there's no way you can apply for a master's degree. Because even if you studied here a bachelor's degree in University of Applied Science, it doesn't qualify you for a master's degree in a university. So it's not about you doing this diploma program in Cameroon or any part of the world. Even in Finland, there's no way you have a bachelor's degree in University of Applied Science and you want to go straight to the university for a master's program. No. And even if you want to apply for a master's program within University of Applied Science, you need 2 years work experience. So we should know this difference. So if you have an HND, higher national diploma, or you are from a polytechnic, I advise you to start back and apply for a bachelor program. Or if you have this diploma and you have up to 2 years work experience in that same field, then you can apply for a master's program in a University of Applied Science here in Finland. I hope that is clear. I will take it again. If you have a qualification, let's say business qualification from a polytechnic or from any professional school, that is not a state university that qualifies you for a bachelor program in a university, you cannot apply for a master's program in a university in Finland. Likewise, if you move here as a bachelor's degree student in a University of Applied Science, there's no way you just move from that to a master's degree in a university. Remember, University of Applied Science is polytechnic, it's not university as in university. So that's the difference. There was this one of you here, I had to write to University of Eastern Finland. I even had to attach the degree, the certificate and the transcript, and they said it was categorically clear that they don't accept these diplomas as qualification for a master's program in a university. All right. So the other question the last one that I want to address is you applying for different master's programs and writing of motivation letter. If you apply for a master's program in this university and that university, about let's say 3 different universities, and if the universities are requesting for a motivation letter for each program, then you have to give it. But if they are not requesting for the motivation letter, which I doubt, then you don't have to. But if I apply, let's say, for 3 master's programs in one university, so I go to University of Eastern Finland and I apply to 3 or 4 different master's programs, one motivation letter should be enough because it is in the same university. But if it's in different universities and they require you to write motivation letter, and then you have to write the motivation letter. So I always say, the application form, it's in front of you. And the fact that you are applying to up to 6 different programs from different universities, there will be program and university specific requirements. And they always state it on the form. They will tell you that according to this program, you are supposed to talk about your ability to work, especially applying to nursing programs. They always say that. But someone that is not applying to nursing programs or anything that has to do with healthcare or anything that has to do with body like strength or whatever, physical strength, they may not get this particular question. So stick to what is in front of you when you are filling the application form. Whatever is being asked, give it. Because they are program specific and also university specific programs. So stick to what you see in front of you. Don't say, oh, A says that they not ask this one, so it's not important. No, you are not applying to the same program. And sometimes, even if you are applying to the same programs, you are not from the same country. There are university-specific requirements. There are program-specific requirements. There are even country-specific requirements. So stick to your application form and give the right answers, okay? I wish you all the very best. And it is my prayer that you get the best program that you want to come study in Finland. And you get the best program with fees that will not put you under duress. That's my major concern. That when you are moving to Finland, you will not just move lamenting. That you'll be able to settle in and enjoy your study process. I wish you all the best with the application period. Leave your questions in the comments section. Tell us which programs are you applying to, what university, and why. Okay, so the least you can do to me is like this video. I also have the super thanks. So if you are blessed by my content and you are like, this tab is doing so much work, how do I bless her? Just go to my super thanks. You can give me €1, €2 for my cup of tea. I will appreciate that. All right. So God bless you and all the best. Bye. See you when next you see me.